guys. Whenever you're ready, we'll maybe take questions off the top.
Penalty fair in your opinion?
Look, from our end, what was said by Izak, his words and his behaviour were unacceptable. They don't align with his values. They don't align with our values. We worked with the AFL over the last few days to work through what's an appropriate sanction. 4 weeks is what they deem as appropriate. We accept that. We won't be appealing. We'll move on. Izak, as you can imagine, he's doing it pretty tough. Like, he put himself into this position and he's deeply remorseful and regrets what he said. But he is doing it pretty tough. He basically hasn't left his house for the last few days. We're going to support him. We're going to care for him. Yes, we understand he did the wrong thing, but he's still part of our extended family and we'll support him through this.
Tim, why did Izak self-report after?
It's an interesting discussion how you consider self-report. Izak, when he was approached by the footy club, he made a decision to reach out to the Collingwood player to apologise on the Sunday morning. How you determine self-reporting is up to you, but once he became aware and he thought it through, he came forward and apologised.
In the AFL statement, there was a reference to medical submissions that you put in. Can you detail what that entailed? Because there's a little bit of confusion about that and what that means.
I won't be going into detail on that, and it's not appropriate.
Are you worried about mental health? Does it relate to Izak mental health?
Like I said to the previous question, I won't expand on that.
Can you understand the doubt around it, though, that this is this vague medical submissions term, the rest of the community, what that means?
No. It's the statement from the AFL. There was medical submissions that were part of an extensive submission that we put to the AFL. And
Tim, was there no apology for the LGBTQI community?
Good question. As a leader of this footy club, we don't stand for what was said and that behaviour. We've got a number of our supporters and fans that are part of that community. I apologise to them. We want to have an inclusive environment, which they're part of, and I hope to see a number of those fans and those supporters, including the Rainbow Crows, at our game at Unley on the weekend.
I tried to, get the ban reduced, is there a danger mitigating harm for you?
I don't think so. I want to put on the table that we were looking for some leniency in the length of the ban. We didn't condone it. What he did was wrong. His behaviour was inappropriate, so he was always going to be sanctioned. We were looking at a slightly reduced sanction. It wasn't that we weren't accepting that he'd done something wrong.
You said openly go to roles like that. You can still find a grand final, albeit in a likely scenario that he loses the first qualifying final. Is there any sense of relief from the club that he could still find a grand final?
Look, possibly. Like it's we'd love to make it through the grand final. We're probably not looking that far forward. This has been a distraction this week. We've got a game against North Melbourne on the weekend. So we're probably not looking that far ahead. In terms of Izak, the individual, I think it's nice that there's a carrot for him and that it means his season potentially is not over, and I think that is good for his mental health.
You went so many proud of the community. You addressed this with them and were asking.
I have. I've especially addressed our leaders within the program. I've kept them updated and communicated to them over the past few days because it has been a big media story. We're disappointed that it was playing out in public, but we're going through an AFL process and we need to be confidential and go through the due process. So we've kept them updated and we had a briefing with the entire playing group. Look, as a group, they seem okay, but as a footy club, I think they share our belief, which is they're disappointed and frustrated, and this reflects a little bit poorly on our footy club. But there's also a level of empathy for Izak and what he's going through, so we'll support him through this.
And Izak used this sort of language before. There's been a suggestion from Collingwood told him that there's maybe history in this case. Does Izak use this language?
Not to my knowledge.
Regulation is the
further for submission.
That wasn't part of our submission. That's not something that, we're striving to be in the grand final. There's no doubt about it. I don't think we're too focused on the grand final entertainment.
So if that wasn't part of your submission,
Is there any excuse behind the
None.
Then why would the club use verbal provocation of the submission?
I think in the heat of battle, there are sometimes some extenuating circumstances, but we accepted that he'd done the wrong thing.
Extenuating circumstances, no excuses.
Well, you can make that decision.
There is still reputation damage for the club by the way I guess you handle the situation and trying to get the max penalty now.
Look, it's been in public debate over the last few days. We're disappointed that it was in the public forum over that time. We had to deal with it. We went through due process. We've reached an outcome which we think is satisfactory for all parties. I think we're all losers in some way here, and we accept the penalty and we won't be appealing. As a footy club, we want to move on, and Izak's very remorseful.
how are you the losers? How are you the
Well, I think we've copped a lot of bad PR over the last few days, as well as we are losing one of our star players for a period. But like I said before, he deserves to be sanctioned.
The leagues, are you upset with the AFL about those? About these played out?
I don't want to itemise certain organisations, but I'm disappointed that we had to deal with leaks throughout this process because it's supposed to be confidential. We're working with the AFL Integrity Department, and there was some information that was right and some misinformation as well.
Are you discovered those worried for Izak for
I am a little. I'm nervous for him. He's gone through a difficult time over the last couple of days. We've had the appropriate support around him, and I think for him, the release of the decision is good, and him being able to probably just get out of the house and maybe get away for a couple of days, be able to reset and then come back into the footy club. And he will brief, I think, to the earlier question, our AFLW players, our men's players, and when he gets back into the club, he will do that.
How soon would that be, particularly now that there is a possibility that we could play next week?
We're working through that for Izak at the minute. I think he might need some time out. He'll need to continue to train. We're looking at some options to potentially just get him away and get him out of the Adelaide environment for a week or so, but make sure he trains, and when he's ready to come back in, we can't wait to have him back.
Do you think the LG is footy fan? Do you feel like we feel let down by the game? Is that a competition?
Look, potentially, but like I said before, we're frustrated and disappointed that as a footy club and the AFL, we're continuing to talk about this. We know as a footy club and an industry and the community, we need to get better. So we're going to try to lead from the front.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.
Thanks, Tim.